Hey, this is Billy Childs from Brittany Fox, and you're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This is the Cosmick Voice. Cosmick Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmick Voice. This is Season 8, Episode 18, our season finale. I am here with my co-host, Chris Natalini.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Season finale, baby. We are here.
And I am Mick Michaels. Welcome back, everyone, to the final show of Season 8. Chris, how are you, sir?
I am doing awesome, brother. We are here. We made another season. It's so insane to me.
Is that crazy? Didn't we just start this? We say this every season finale. It just seems like we just started it. And here we are at the end. It is, man.
You know, I was telling you off the air a little bit ago that my guitar player heard us for the first time. He's not a real big podcaster or listener, but he did look at me and go, "You guys started that around COVID, didn't you?" I go, "Yeah."
Just catching up.
We did. And I think we said past 2 seasons at the end. Like, it's so nuts that how we started this thing, and here we are 6 years later. Like, we're still doing it. We still record in the morning or at night when we can. Like, just what a whirlwind of all these seasons, you know.
It is. We say it all the time. Like, we didn't expect to be doing it this long. We didn't really have any aspirations to make this what it's become, but it kind of took on a life of its own. I definitely feel that. You know, the industry and all the changes have kind of basically navigated how this show has gone. And because of all those changes, how it affected you and I, which created content in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's 100%, but that's as close to organic, I feel, that you could get with a show that's not nothing but contrived stuff.
I totally agree. And, you know, I was thinking about this earlier today, too. The biggest part of me agreeing with that is the fact that, listen, let's be honest, in all these seasons, you've come up with more topics than I have, you know, because
it trickles down on me and I don't always carry an umbrella. That's the difference between star power. I have none and you have plenty.
You know, there was such a stretch period of time where you were playing all the time, but there'd be times like we would be texting each other in a show somewhere and we'd go, "Hey, you'll never guess what happened this time. Oh yeah, we need to talk about this on the show." Like,
right.
It's just, you know, a lot of things were happening in such real time. And even though we spent past couple seasons kind of back cataloging shows, the businesses have been constantly changing and our shows have been changing with it.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of what makes us really different from a lot of other music podcasts, is that, you know, we're constantly evolving and changing. There have been a few times where we'd be like, you know, we would talk about one thing and then we would end up in a whole nother direction that we never thought we would even go to. Or there'd be something we're like, you know what, let's just touch on this and let's hope that we can get 40 minutes out of it. And then we end up, you know, in a deep conversation, we end up getting an hour out of it. So it's definitely been one of those things where the show has constantly been changing, and we've been changing with the business. And you and I, again, because we're still in the thick of it, we see things that are happening and we contact each other and go, this is what's happening to me. You know, you just had the story and you just told on the last show about the last show you did and all the issues with the Nationals on tour and all that. And that's just one of those things where, you know, we text each other and go, "You're never going to believe what's happening right now." And that we go, "All right, we'll put that in the show." we need to talk about that. And that's what I really like about the show. It's constantly it always changes with the business. We're always on top of it.
To some degree, even though we are a pre-taped and edited show, there is some real time to it because we're still active, right? It's not just a, hey, back in the day show. I was actually talking to someone just a week or so ago about, they asked me, oh, you do a podcast? I said, yeah, that kind of thing. It's not that I go waving a flag or anything, but if somebody asks, I'll talk about it. I said, we talk about things that are happening because we're still actively in it. Regardless of how active or inactive we are, there's still a level of, our toes in it. We're reaching into the bucket and see what comes out. But it's not just one of those things. Well, back in the day, though, we do talk that, and we use it as a comparison, because I think that's important. We're fortunate enough to have some level of connection to that back in the day thing. Because, again, really, for our generation, when most people think of that music business scene, that rock scene, you're talking the 80s, early 90s, especially when you're talking rock, heavy metal, that type of thing. We use it as a comparison. But I also noticed, and I was talking to somebody about this too, that how the show has definitely evolved and the content has become organic, is that when we first started the show, we'd have maybe 6 to 8 minutes of just some banter intro. And then we get to the topic that we had planned to cover. Well, that basic banter intro has turned into half of the show or more till we get to the topic that we've actually allotted for. But in that banter, we'll cover an array of topics that are happening in real time. So we're hitting various points in the industry, in the independent realm, that we didn't necessarily do in the beginning. We realized that there's more things happening. Like you had pointed out, just in the last couple years, things are at such a rapid pace. It's here today, gone later today type of thing, David Lee Rothism, right? But the truth is like, 2 years ago, AI was like a thing that maybe they were going to do for, movies or something. And now it's part of everything we do. They literally have promotional companies doing AI stuff. They're teaching people online how to properly use AI to further your brand, market your business, make money, so on and so forth. So that's affecting everything. The last episode we had for this season was our annual Q&A. And one of the questions was, do you think things will go back to the way they were? Well, the truth of the matter is, like I said in that podcast, no, they won't. But what we sometimes don't give enough precedence in our thinking is that we're still only a few years out from the shutdown. It wasn't really until 2022 things really opened up across the board. Right? Yes, things opened up partially in 2021, but your 2022 by June, things were really kind of popping again. So you're only talking a handful of years. We are still in the aftermath stages, trying to figure out how do we move forward post-COVID, post-shutdown, post the world changing. That could be 10 years. That literally could be one generation. So the rebuild stage, technically, for a lot of people, is just starting right now. And I've noticed it as a band player, and we talked about this privately, and we talked about it even at the beginning of the season. Going forward, we had to decide which way are we going to go now? How are we going to do this? Because everything's different. Contacts are different. Venues are different. How bands are being treated is different. You can't just go to a venue and play. You got to pay to play. You got to do this. You got to do that. How are we going to navigate that? Because you're not having some of those choices that you had before. And that's what I mean. So we're starting to actually rebuild. So you're talking, if 2022 is the benchmark start point, right? That's ground zero to when we came out of the shutdown. Well, you got 2022, 23, 24, 25. We got 26. That's 4 years. We're still in the aftermath stage. So right around 2026, 2027, the real rebuilding will start to happen. This is what I've spent the last 6 months, 8 months trying to do. It's a complete kind of reset, rebuild. The other thing is you spend a couple years picking up the pieces and going, well, let me try, is that still intact? Let me try it. And then you knock on the door and nobody answers, or you push the door and it already opened, but the whole apartment's blown out and you just see the bottom of the street. That's where we've been. So a lot of us are forgetting that because, we quickly hurry up, get back into the mix. But now, as this podcast is being recorded, the world's in another chaotic mess of rising prices and war-torn countries and changing over of governments and everybody's in conflict of why you should do this or why you shouldn't do that. So it just affects from top to bottom. Again, the long and the short of it is we've been able to carry that into our programming of the show, what our discussions are. And you had said this last season, and I think you used the word, our shows became a little darker.
Yeah.
And I think they became a little bit more serious in some of the content. Not that the content wasn't serious, right? They were serious topics.
Yeah.
But we did it with a little bit of whatever,
yes,
tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of fun. We try to keep that as much as we can. But as we were starting to go through the pick up the pieces stage into like, hey, I got to start rebuilding, there's some dark times. And you're hearing so much about the negativity of the industry. Of the whole entertainment industry, right? And it's affecting people's perception. Again, I'm just amazed that we're still here. I'm kind of excited that somebody's still listening.
It's also, too, like you were talking about rebuilding. You know, there was a period of time, too, where you and I, separately, but you and I were constantly traveling overseas. Like, it was nothing for us to do one or two shows. Well, you would do a longer run than I would, but we'd be overseas pretty regularly. And now, even getting on a plane to get overseas as a band is just... Because some of those countries are still... They're behind us in terms of picking up the pieces and getting back to a normalcy. There are still some countries that are still behind us when it comes to travel and bands flying in and doing shows. And you and I always talk about how bad it is here. It's just as bad there, if not worse, at some levels because of all that. So you and I have been seeing that too when it comes to rebuilding since we came back out of COVID.
Not to keep bringing it up, but it is a point now in our most recent history that literally changed the world. And we are not that far from... I mean, that's how recent history it is. It's like a run through high school.
Yeah.
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. It's not that far off. Yeah. Like, you know, it's still fresh. I've talked to some people, they're having difficulty remembering what it was like pre-COVID. And we're talking about adults. Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you about adults. 6 years ago, we started this in 2020. The beginning of 2020, for most people, it was business as usual. By March... we were someplace else.
Yeah.
I mean, this year, we had talked about maybe celebrating our 15th anniversary as a band and go back to Europe because we had a successful run there pre-COVID. But again, if you look at all the numbers and then the hostility that's happening worldwide, it's probably not a good idea. And I'm going to be even further honest with you because we had some travel plans set for this year, even stateside. There's a growing concern of some issues happening here as well as other places in the world.
Yeah.
And the further we're in the thick of it, the higher that percentage is going to start to go up, which is just going to make traveling even harder. And it's a shame because on top of the soaring prices, now you're worried about safety. My thought was, hey, you know what? To keep a cap on things so we're not overspending in the event that there is a problem. And because, you know, we'll stay within the confines of our country borders. That was all a consideration to not go to Europe right now until some things start to kind of cool down. And again, there may not be that hostility. But statistically right now, the way people are talking in psychological terms, this is what's happening. Because they're seeing it here in the States, and it's happening elsewhere too. And you got to keep in mind that with the ongoing Russia and Ukraine war, that's in Europe's backyard. So there's a growing concern there. We have to keep in mind that they had fighting in two major wars right there on their soil. We were fortunate enough that besides whatever happened on the coast of Virginia there and Pearl Harbor, we never had it here in the mainland USA.
Right.
We don't have that same... Even though they're maybe a generation or two since then, but they've grown up in that shadow.
Yeah.
It's made it hard for everybody. I know that's slightly off the celebration of the show, but, you know, that's where we're at. And these are the things that we talk about. And maybe, like as Chris kind of described it, is it darker? Yeah, maybe. But it's the reality right now, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is the reality of it. Yeah.
And if you sugarcoat the reality too much... then there's a shock to the system. One of the big complaints right now about, if we can still call it TV programming, is that it's becoming so realistic that people are like, there's no escapism anymore. Like my stress levels watching certain shows are out the roof.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the edge of my seat. I mean, like, can't we just go back to some Xena, the Warrior Princess, cheesy shows?
It's true, man. You know, many, many years ago, as a grown adult, and these shows weren't even made for my demographic, but I used to spend hours watching the Disney Channel because it was just mindless entertainment,
right,
where it was easy. I didn't have to focus, and it was just fun and childish for me because I'm a grown man watching shows that weren't even made for me. But the point I'm trying to make is they don't make those shows anymore. Everything is so in your face and real, and you're like, I don't want real stuff.
Right.
I can look out my window and see real stuff. I want to be entertained. I want to forget for 20 minutes.
And the people that are watching it are the same people that go, I don't watch the news because I can't. But you're watching these other shows, and it's like, oh my God.
It's Ross the Boss.
Take it down.
Johnny D from Britney Fox.
This is Stephen Piercy from Rat, the Rat Bastard. You're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
I just recently spoke to an older woman, and she was having the same problem with some of the music, some of the certain genres. I asked this young person, like, did they talk about anything other than shooting somebody, you know, knocking boots, slapping people around, calling people? Is there anything like positive? The person goes, once in a while, you know, but the music's become that way too.
Yes.
It's like we're getting hit everywhere. So where is the escapism? Where is it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
I mean, even with your bigger sports events, say a Super Bowl, the game itself is only 60 minutes. But over the course of 4 hours, we're hit with so much. We're bombarded with promotion and marketing and branding and, you know, politics and socialism and economics. And we're trying to close the divide, but it's literally pushing people further apart at times.
Yes.
You know what? I want my realism to stay in life, and I've been closing my doors and windows to avoid it. So now I just want to watch something that just is over the top, doesn't make, you know, it ain't real. Because I couldn't stand when people go, oh, you know, he really can't do that. I know. I get it. Yeah, it's a movie. I think I figured that out. And that's the reason we go. Right?
It's exactly. Yeah,
if I want realism, I'll just go sit in an ER.
Yep.
That's it. I don't have to pay $30 for a streaming service that originally started out as $2. Now I'm paying more in streaming prices across and all these different, like, you don't think about it. It's like, oh, it's $4 here, $5 here, $6 here. Yep. But then every 6 months it keeps going up. And then you start adding up. It's like, I got rid of my $300 cable bill, so I didn't have this. Now I have it. All I'm doing is I'm splitting the money up. Instead of making one payment, I'm making 10 payments.
Yep. Hey, you know what else they do? And this is what gets my goat, bro. This is what irritates me to no end. They go, hey, you want ads? We know you don't. We're going to raise it $2 if you don't want ads, because we know, Chris, you hate commercials. So if you don't want to watch commercials, you need $2 or $3 more. And I go, I'm not paying that. I will sit through commercials. I am not paying any more money for this app. And then what happens? I go, I can't do. And then they put a little timer at the bottom of my screen. So the whole time I'm like, oh my God, I still have 6 more commercials.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
No, I'll pay without ads. And again, like you said, I'm paying just the amount. I might as well just have cable back.
Yeah, you might as well have cable back. It's crazy.
And then if you get cable, there's nothing on cable to watch because everything's on streaming services.
Exactly. It's terrible. I mean, I'm telling you, they get you coming and going. Well, let me ask you this, since we're going to be on show break, what do you got coming up? What do you got going on? What's going to be happening?
Well, you know, like I had said in last week's show, my current band is busy. We have we've made commitments to things, and we'll hope that the commitments are reciprocated, you know, because in this business, especially like I said with traveling, we just never know. So we do have some stuff coming up that we're hoping we're going to get to do. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We're going to wind down. I mean, we're still in the middle of 2026, but we have shows hopefully that'll happen kind of spread out through the rest of the year. But if we keep going in this direction, then 2027 is going to be a busy year, and we're going to record some music and put some new music out, and 2027 and beyond hopefully will be a good couple years. At least that's what I'm hoping. How about you? What do you have coming in the future, since we'll be off for a little bit?
I got a handful of shows. Again, like I said, I'm not doing as many, more selective, but I have a handful of shows. I got some recording coming. I got some new music coming out. So I always have recording going on, and it's not a big thing.
You're always writing.
I'm still promoting the When We Rocked book, and we're actually moving towards, because by the time this airs, the promotion and all will be out, but we are making a documentary of the book.
Right.
And pretty excited about that.
As you should be.
A lot of the principal filming, again, by this time, it's already commencing. And we were looking at, maybe it releasing early 2027, maybe some festival showings and some distribution and things like that. But we're taking it one thing at a, you think further into it.
Sure.
But, you got to get everything done and edited, which is also going to then offer us to finally push to the book will get a second edition, because there'll be some expanded interviews and some new people, more photos. We may have a hardback copy. I mean, the book is still doing pretty well. As of today's recording, the book was number 27 in heavy metal books and 166 in rock books. And again, awesome. People go, wow, it's not the top 10. Yeah, but think about the amount of books that are being released by major publishing companies or major artists, and that our little book on the Philadelphia scene is still holding a part of that share. Does it fluctuate? Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of thing that happens when you have a vast market, just like music, right? Like Spotify.
Yeah.
Millions of songs and millions of songs being released. Same thing with books. I mean, you have the same thing in the industry as with music. Everybody and anybody's now capable of doing that kind of stuff. So you're competing, but the thing is, you're hoping that diamond in the rough starts to stand out a little bit more, or stand out more consistently. When we first were putting the book together, there was always that idea of, hey, we'd like to make this into this. We'd like to have some second or third editions, or see where else this could go. But you just put them on the back burner, because again, just like anything else, you got to kind of take it step by step. There's new territory for us in that regard. I had spoken to you about it at the tail end of last year, saying, hey, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to figure it out. I spoke with dozens of people, and I just think that the universe is providing me a little bit of a thumbs up right now, and I'm going to run with it. So what better time to do it than now? The book I believe in, the project I believe in, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have followed through. The book took 2 years to get through. I think that the documentary with a good crew and all, I think we're going to move through it. The people that are involved in it are very excited, which excites me. Because, again, it's like being in a band. It's like when you go out and play and someone outside of your garage or your basement goes, hey, I like what you're doing. You're like, okay, there's something here. So I'm excited about it. I mean, you're going to be in it because you're in the book, and we get to talk to some really great people. And like I said, it's the story of the artist and that fighting city of Philadelphia type of underdog grit and in the street type of things. I'm really excited about it. I'm happy to be able to talk about it, and you're going to start seeing more of it. So keep an eye out for it.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see this project as your book go from speaking about it to actual physical medium.
Just like with anything, you sometimes don't know how the evolution of a song is going to go, right? You have this idea, you're excited about it, the people you're working with are excited about it, so you demo it or you record it, and sometimes it takes a life of its own, and you don't know. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. It's just one of those things, and then you're surprised at how things turn out, and there's an uplift to that. There's an inspiration to it. You're like, wow, and it makes you want to do more, and it develops a certain level of pride, and by pride I mean like something that's a good, positive thing, not like pride where you all of a sudden create this ego where you separate yourself from. Now, and we talked about this, I think, in a couple episodes ago. There's a difference between confidence and cocky, right? Confidence gives you enough courage to help other people or bring other people into the fold. Cockiness doesn't allow for that. And I think that having pride is something that is part of that confidence, because you should feel good about what you do. So you have pride in what you do. It's not pride where it prevents you from something. It's pride that makes you want to do better and to do more. At least that's what I think, trying to keep a positive spin on it. I mean, is it easy? No, it's not. Sometimes it's way easier to take the negative route and just go, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we know, right?
But hard work pays off at the end.
That's what we're hoping, for all of us, for all the artists out there. I mean, sometimes what you see on the outward could be the contrary. A lot of people go, what's the point of all this? I don't understand. And even there's shows that I do or deals that I get involved in, you go like, I don't get this. But it's about betterment of self. It really is.
Yes. Yep.
If you come out better for it, that's priceless. That's an education that you couldn't get anyplace else.
That's right.
Even some of the bad shows that I had, and some of them were not bad shows because the band played bad per se. It's because of maybe how we were treated or just how the venue just did their business. And the band wasn't even a consideration type of thing.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But you learn something from that. Okay, well, now you can look for certain things to expect, or you're aware of things that if they do start to arise, you go, okay, I kind of have an idea where this may go, and you can change your attitude accordingly. Now, again, you could be positive about it, or you could be negative about it, and I've seen both of that. Unfortunately, I've done both of that over the past 40 years. So you live, you learn, you do it again, and you hope for the best. So
Exactly. Well, it's life, right? Life is crazy, man. It's just how it is.
It's just how it is.
Yep.
You are listening to the Cosmick Voice with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels.
So, since we've been talking about, that we're ending the season this time around, I want to talk to you real quick, since we've been talking about the music business, and the big news as of right now, and I want to get your opinion, is the addition of Sebastian Bach to Twisted Sister.
You know how many times you and I have talked about Sebastian Bach, how fantastic singer he is. And he spent all this time worrying about Skid Row. Now he ain't talking about Skid Row no more. Right? And we kept saying, I don't understand why he just doesn't team up with another big name act that needs a singer.
You said that a while ago.
And here he is. Yes. I mean, listen, I'm a big Twisted Sister fan, always have been. Dee was one of my guys, especially in the 80s.
Too.
You know what I mean?
Yep, me too. Yep.
And it's going to be a little difficult not seeing him there.
Yes, agree. I was trying to explain to somebody, because somebody was like, I can't believe Sebastian Bach. And I go, look, man, look at it this way. You have to look at it from the business end, and let me know what you think. So here's Twisted Sister, here's Dee Snider. They go, we're going back out on tour. We're going to do this reunion tour. It's got a lot of buzz. Everybody was excited. It was putting people to work. Stagehands, union, merch people, the whole nine. Well, Dee can't do it because of his health. God bless the man. Puts everybody out of work. So he goes, and I don't know how this came up, but I am assuming that the guys got together, or him and JJ, since they're the two guys, and they go, listen, we have all these dates. We have all these people that are counting on us to get paid. What can we do that you'd be okay with? And Dee goes, let's get someone to take my place. And what that does is, not only does he give them the okay to do it, because it's not like they were like, oh, well, screw him, we're going to go get another singer, we're going out without him, because Dee has approved this. He said, listen,
it is Dee's music.
Right. But he said, I approve this. To me, when I see someone approve something, I go, I feel a little better about it, right?
Sure.
Now they can go out and everybody can make money again.
Right.
Right? And I'm not thinking about the band. I'm thinking about the people under the band, right? When Metallica goes out, when Taylor Swift goes out, there are hundreds of people that are making money because this young lady or these four dudes are going out and playing music. So that gives everybody a paycheck at the end of the week. And I'm not talking about the band. So I look at it and go, now Twisted Sister's going to be back on the road. Now these venues can put people in it. Now people can get paid. Union can get paid. The stagehands can get paid. The crew, the merch, and you have Sebastian Bach fronting your band. Now, you have people that may not have come and seen you. Now, they're going to come because now they're interested in seeing Sebastian Bach with Twisted Sister, right? So everybody makes out in this situation. And who's to say that this isn't going to be successful and they just keep adding dates?
Oh, yeah. Will they keep adding dates? I'm almost positive of it. Almost positive.
How could you not, Nick?
Listen, I think the D is still going to be making money on this, which, again, there's
course
nothing
he
wrong
is.
with that.
Of
I also
course.
think that you're going to probably see D pop up a couple places here and there. Maybe do a song or two. Maybe he can't do the full tour, but he can pop in and do this and do that. Yeah, look at Glenn Tipton.
Right.
He still has stuff to do with the recording, the writing. He
Right.
pops in every so often.
Because D never said he couldn't tour. He said he couldn't perform.
Right.
Big difference.
He can still sing. He still can write, so on and so forth. I mean, because really, he's the face of Twisted Sister.
He is.
I think that's really cool. Like I said, at first I was like, oh, like D, not there, But at the same time, I've always liked Sebastian Bach. I did lose a little when he threw the bottle back in whenever that was, early
back in the
90s.
day, yeah.
He did have a bit of a mouth and a tongue, which he kind of still does now, but that's just, way it is. But, you kind of always were kind of like rooting for him to get back. I know he did a couple of those celebrity, I'm not even sure what he did. Did he do the Celebrity Fit Club at one time or something like that?
I don't know. He did like that celebrity house where like him and a bunch of musicians were in a house.
Right, I remember
together,
that.
right?
Yeah, I think he was on something where he was trying to lose weight too.
I think you're right. Yeah,
he may have done a chef thing or something. But anyway, I mean, you kind of always like root for him. And then he talks too much and you go, I'm done with this. But it's not like they were just doing it behind his back. There was an approval. Like the AC/DC thing. That kind of was like a whatever. And this guy's a great singer. I mean, fabulous singer. More of a power range singer, which is going to change, but it's going to give people this impact. Like, now, I don't know, there's that song that's going around, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Is that him with Twisted Sister, or is that a cover that he did with his band? Do you know?
Oh, that's a great question, dude. I don't know.
I don't know.
To be honest.
But it sounds really good. It
does. It's
really
good.
So it's like,
really is good.
You kind of know what you're going to get into here. And they got a great drummer, younger guy, and that's going to be great. I think this is going to be probably one of the bigger tours the next 2 years. They were only going to do a handful of dates, right, originally, but I think this is going to go someplace else.
Yes. As we're doing this, see, again, right on
Real
the money.
time.
We're doing
Real
this.
time.
We're doing this live. It looks like You Can't Stop Rock and Roll by Sebastian Bach and Friends. So you were right. It was a cover song that he did.
Okay.
At some point.
Well,
Sebastian Bach and the Band of Doom. That's what I'm coming up with.
I'd like to know how that process took place. Because I think in the weeks prior to the announcement, I remember seeing some kind of posting that Sebastian Bach was lobbying to be the singer for Twisted Sister for the tour. And I'm wondering if that's what provoked it, or was there really a behind-the-scenes type of invitation? If they said, all right, hey, D, you can't do it. We like to stay the commitment here. Everybody's going to get paid, because, of course, that's what they're going to talk about. Because they weren't going to tour, right? They weren't going to do anything. But enough money was thrown at them to bring these guys out of retirement, right? So they're no better than the Motley Crues and the Kisses and the whoever else. Whatever. Like we talked about in one episode, nobody in this business ever really truly retires. Unless you're 6 feet under, then it's done.
That's right.
Unless you're James Brown and your wife keeps you on tour in a glass coffin for like 2 years. Amazing, man. Amazing. Anyway, I would love to know how that, and I guess maybe they will talk about it at one point. I don't think they could have found a better singer.
No.
To do it. And you know what? This guy needs that, in a sense. I mean, he's been doing great on his own. But this is where I think this puts him back, because even we talked about it. It's like, I wish he would just stop talking about Skid Row. Well, thank you, D. You just granted us that wish. You know
just gave Blabbermouth nothing to talk about.
That's right. Nothing to talk about.
And you had mentioned, too, about the drummer. I had no idea that drummer not only played for Ace Frehley, but was in ZO2.
Right.
And I loved ZO2. Love them. So I was super excited for that guy too.
Is Mark Mendoza coming back? Is he playing bass?
I don't think so.
So they haven't announced the bass player yet as of our recording. Now, by the time this comes out, they may have that linked in.
Yeah, that is correct. No, I think right now it's just the dude from ZO2, which I can't think of his name, another Paisan, and then JJ, and then Eddie, and then Sebastian. So as far as I know, they haven't announced the bass player.
See, I thought that Mendoza's reasons for not touring was strictly because of D.
Yes, that is what I was led to believe. Maybe he'll come back now. And then if he comes back, oof my goof.
But I would love to see as many original members as we... And I know, of course, we can't AJ Parrow, but I bet you when they play the New York shows, D's going to pop in.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
He'll do
see
all the big markets, probably.
Yeah, I can't see him not popping in.
Yeah,
I really can't. I can't. That'd be just a treat, not only for fans, but I think for Sebastian Bach as well.
Oh, agree. I agree 100%, bro. 100%.
I mean, two of my favorite singers, and believe me, they were on either end of the spectrum in the 80s, was Dee Snider and Taylor Dayne. And at one time, Tell It to My Heart and all, they did a Christmas song together. They did a duet together. Yeah.
That's right.
I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I mean? You just don't know where things are going to go. I wonder if they considered Lizzie Hale for that one. But... Now, I don't know Sebastian to save my bottom, but I'm excited for him. I think this is going to be awesome. Like I said, he's got a phenomenal voice, and he's a true music lover. Yeah. Going to be amazing. I'm pretty excited about that. I really am. I think it's cool.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for him, too.
It just shows you that good stuff can still happen within the music. This way, listen, I know D's not going to be there, but I don't feel the music's going to suffer. I really don't.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I don't think so. It's going to bring it into a whole new realm. And like you said, people that probably wouldn't have gone to see it, now they're going to go see it.
Now they're going to go see it. Yeah. Absolutely, bro.
So,
and listen, side note, the dudes from Skid Row were like, oh, thank God.
That's right. Thank God. Now we can get on with all our auditions.
Hey, Sweetwater, we definitely need a singer now.
Yeah, we definitely need a singer. Let's get going. And you know what? They'll probably be the opening act. That really is cool. A lot of good stuff coming. That's going to be the tour to see. I think so.
It's going to be the tour to see. Yeah. I agree. I agree. That's going to be a good one.
I know there's some Ace Frehley tributes happening in the spring and the summer. They're coming up. They're doing a lot of things for him. A lot of bands are kind of getting together or something like that. His band, he's had a lot of guys over the years. But they're going to be doing some shows here and there. That's kind of interesting. And that's cool.
That is interesting.
Yeah. We talked about in another episode that, Zakk Wylde is doing, the free concert. And again, some of this stuff may be passé by the time this show comes out. But in honor of Ozzy, these guys make connections to people. Those guys that passed, like you talked about, with Twisted Sister going on the road gives all these people work. And not just in one market, just across the board. But these guys that pass on, our favorite heroes, they provided so much to the musicians that worked underneath them. Not only a job and a livelihood, but, inspiration themselves, fantasy dreams come true, that kind of thing. And just to keep things going sometimes, this is how they may be processing it. And, and it helps the fans as well as they're missing their favorite artists. So I think that's always a good thing, too. That type of tribute, there's nothing wrong with. I don't think that there is. No. It just demonstrates the positivity of music and how powerful it can be.
Yes. Agree. Totally agree.
Sebastian Bach, he's into his second act, especially with the solo stuff. But this takes him someplace else.
Yeah.
They say that you only lose when you stop.
Yeah.
So, you could keep doing it, and there's always little successes, and you just never know what's going to turn up, man. And listen, did you expect that?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Not even if you would have told me ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, okay, sure. Whatever.
Right. Because there's a lot of talk in this business.
Yeah.
And then, because D's out, that's it, it's done.
Yeah, I never even thought they were going to continue without him. And I'd have been okay. Like, I totally would have get it, but here you are. And, it's only, like you said, it's only going to up Sebastian Bach's credibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're going to see, hopefully, knock on wood, you're going to see how well he's going to work with another band that he's not the guy. that he's not running the show.
Right.
He's going to follow orders, for lack of a better word. Show up, play here. This is what you're going to do. And you're going to see that hopefully other people in the business will start to see that Sebastian Bach may not be as bad as you think he is to deal with.
Right.
Because now he's being put in a situation kind of like, when Roth came back to Van Halen originally. I really believe Eddie and Alex were like, listen, if we're going to do this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this.
Right.
Put him in his place. And so Roth just showed up and sang the songs and rolled out.
Right.
And, with Sebastian, I think it's what it's going to be. It's going to be, listen, you're not Sebastian Bach. You're not in Skid Row. You're in Twisted Sister. This is your gig, but you're not the guy.
Right.
You're just the guy for now.
Right.
And you follow rules and you show up and do your gig. And I think it's going to take him to a whole nother level. At least I hope so.
Well, listen, they're big shoes to fill. I mean, absolutely.
Huge shoes to fill,
you know what I'm saying? I really believe that he respects that. He knows the level of what he's walking into.
Yes, yeah. I do too. I believe that.
I mean, can you imagine what he's feeling right now? Can you imagine?
He's probably on cloud nine, and he's going to treat it with respect. And I truly believe that he's going to do right by those guys and that music.
Oh yeah,
I really do.
Absolutely,
I really do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. There you have it. Season 8.
Yes.
Another one in the books.
Here we are.
So thank you, everyone that continues to listen, those that just started to listen, and those that don't want to listen at all. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You listen. See, right? It's the Howard Stern thing, right? Like, the people that complain about it are the ones that listen the most.
Yeah, I'm often surprised, but not really, that I see our topics show up on other shows. But listen, I chalk it off like, hey, they're in the industry too. I guess they're feeling it out as well as we are.
Somebody's listening.
But their numbers are always better. I'm not sure.
Whatever. It don't matter. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
So again, thank you so much. If you like this episode, if you like this season, check out some other seasons at www.thecosmickvoice.com. Step into the Cosmic Verse and fill that void. Thanks so much for listening. This is the Cosmic Voice. If you have a question, a topic idea, or something you want us to address, just contact us through our Facebook page at The Cosmic Voice. You can listen to The Cosmic Voice at Spotify, Breaker, Apple, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and at thecosmicview.com. Check us out on Facebook at The Cosmic Voice.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, Mick and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes of The Cosmic Voice. And you can get in touch with us through thecosmicvoice.com and, of course, all of the Cosmic Voice social medias. Take care and be safe.
You're listening to The Cosmic Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business.